fishing was easy, super easy, everyone would be doing it and having success. Tim, we struggled a bit yesterday, didn't we?
We saw a lot of fish get caught, but on other people's boats. Yeah, we pulled the wrong rein. We went to the south. We maybe should have went up the north, well, it sounds that way. There's a fair bite on up to the north there, but yeah, some days are diamonds.
And some days are stone. Let's hope today that stone's been in the earth for about 3,000 years and turned into something that sparkles.
No pressure. A lot of pressure on the stone.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on the stone. Different techniques of fishing is what people are always asking about. They want to know, how do you catch a certain fish? I just want to sort of fill you in on what's happening here today. We're in about 150 metres of water out of Port Stephens. I've got 13 boats around us, and the reason they're here is because the current and tide is pushing bait into this area. Those bait are slimy mackerel. What we do, Tim drives along, he watches the sounder, he looks for the bait. As soon as the bait starts to come up, there's a big chance that it's actually billfish pushing that bait up. We're towing bait, the same bait that those billfish are eating. We bring them into the zone, we basically sit here and wait for a bite. All these boats are here for one simple reason, because the slimy mackerel are here, the marlin are here. Just a matter of taking your time, patience, watch the sounder, and use all those tools, and then do what instinct tells you, and you should get a marlin bite. 0 to hero in a second. Actually had a bit of a problem with our bilge. And the word boat stands for bring out another 1,000. The bilge is gone. The boy's actually under the floor fixing it. We're drifting along, not even thinking of catching fish. And this bait got 8. Oh, look at that! Oh! Just going for the gimbal belt. This fish has been on for a couple of minutes and just woken up.
Big stripey.
Well, we just had a look at our fish, a real good look. It's a striped marlin, not a bad fish either. This area, generally stripes, blacks, and if you're very lucky, a blue. And a lot of people actually get stripes confused with blues because they come up and they look all blue. But you sure know when you got one of them on. And this is what marlin fishing is all about. See that? It's got a bend in it. We always say that marlin fishing is about very long periods of boredom and then some insane action where fish go all over the place, the crew runs around in circles. And this is the bit, you've paid for a charter and you're coming out and you want to enjoy your marlin fishing, this is the bit to actually sit back and enjoy it. I've seen too many people put their head down, wind, they don't even see the fish jump. So sit back, got all the time in the world, circle hook, this fish should be hooked in the hinge of the jaw. And if it is, it's not getting off. Even a monkey could wind in. And speaking of monkeys, just turn around and have a look at my amazing crew. Their knuckles actually drag on the ground. This Jaguar 30 wide has 15 kilo line on it, and the drag, which is this lever here, is set at 5 kilos, 1/3 the braking strain. If I want to apply a little bit of extra tension when a fish gets near the boat, I can just jam both thumbs on the foregrip. The line still slides through, but it adds about 1 kilo, and it just gives me the ability to put a little bit more hurt on him when he's just cruising down, got his pecs down the current. At this stage, ain't a lot I can do. Basically, the fish has put itself under the boat. Timmy's trying to change the angle by driving forward. You know, we race back on it and try and pick up the slack line, because while they're straight up and down, very, very difficult to get line back on them. It's important for people to note, people are watching at home think they might want to go marlin fishing. Any dummy can hold a fishing rod and wind the handle. It takes an experienced crew to actually get a hook into that fish and to also be able to use the boat to fight it. Because they're such amazing sports fish, we don't want to kill them, we just want to have a good look at them. Use the boat and an expert driver to get that fish in as quick as you physically can. I could be cruel and say we couldn't find an expert driver. So today, we got Tim Dean. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. The fish cannot be far away. I've got the marker on the reel, and the bait wasn't more than 50 yards out when he took it, so Okay, there we go, here he comes. He's gonna pop his head up here. Oh! Okay, tag's in. Muzz's arm's now a foot longer, but the fish is technically ours. Just got to get him back up and get this hook out. And what a beautiful fish. I was talking about angling spectrum yesterday. If this isn't at the far right end, I don't know what is, because they are sweet. You can see my brand new best friend Muzz has organised a harness for me. No point killing myself after we've already got a tag in this fish, because hopefully there's plenty more fish out there we have to battle today. You can see, harness takes all the pressure. I can do the old look mum, no hands. And I'm now working this rod with my quads, which are the biggest muscle in the body. Gives me time to have a break. We're losing line. That'll give an indication of the line coming off the reel. There he is. He obviously learned a bit from the first experience. He's been back to school. Yeah, he's giving you a hard time. You can see that button there. That's where the 5 kilos of drag normally sits for strike drag. You see I'm way over the button. That position's called sunset. I've got every little bit of pressure on this fish I physically can. I've even got my thumb on the foregrip. Timmy's driving the boat forward. What we're doing is actually playing the fish up, and if you look down the rod tip and then back to the line, you see we've got an angle of about 45 degrees between the line and the water. That's a really good angle. He's actually coming up now. The greater that angle, the more chance we've got of backing down on him quickly and getting him up.
Leader.
Gone. Beautiful. Well, how good's that? The hook fell off. Perfect, we got the tag in. I know you're bouncing around a lot, Andrew. It's probably because you're a bit excited, hammer on the sea. Haven't been out long this morning at all. Excellent strike marlin. When Muzz got the wrap and pulled really hard, the circle looks to either come out or pull straight. That's what happened. The fish is on its way, Muzz. How about next one? Thank you. We lift in, have a good look at him.
See what we can do, mate, but we try to let them go nice and fresh. So often it's a difficult thing to bring them in.
Why didn't you let me go nice and fresh?
Mate, we like to give you the full experience on the first go.
I was just getting to like these blokes too.
Maybe next time we'll take it easy on you.
I'm at the Port Stephens Fisheries Institute, and I'm lucky enough today to be joined by Dr. Jeff Allen. Now, Jeff, I promise I've left my fishing rod in the car.
Well, thank you, Paul. We've put lids in all the tanks when we heard you were coming to make sure that you didn't catch any of our big fish.
See, that's just not fair. Now, can you just give people a bit of an idea about the Institute and what it actually does?
OK, well, look, we employ about 100 people here overall. We've got a range of programs, including aquatic conservation, looking at protecting our habitats and understanding more about how our coastal ecosystems work. We have some of our managers that look at setting policy for the marine environment. And we have our Aquaculture Research Institute, where we develop technology for aquaculture and for stock enhancement of fish.
Now, aquaculture is something that really interests me, because as a fisherman, if we can breed fish and put more fish in the waterways, then blokes like me who aren't that talented, we've got a much better chance of catching a fish. So obviously there's two sides to aquaculture. One is to breed fish, grow them for restaurants so we don't have to take fish from the sea. But the second side is that actually growing fish here and putting them into waterways for people to catch?
That's right, Paul, and we work on both areas. Some of our species are only for stock enhancement for recreational anglers, and others have got more of a focus on the long term, being for aquaculture and grow out to table-size market fish.
So working on the fact that it's all about me, what sort of species do you grow here that could possibly one day end up in our waterways to catch?
Well, Australian bass is a species that we have now become routine production and stock enhancement. Last year we released about 200,000 bass into the various impoundments for the bass fishermen to catch, and most of those impoundment fisheries are based on fish that have been bred in hatcheries and released into the impoundments, and so it's a very successful program.
When I was a kid, I bred canaries. and I put a boy one and a girl one together. They laid eggs and had babies. Is it as simple as getting a boy and a girl kingfish, put it in a tank, give them a love letter and a bit of romance, it all happens?
Pretty much,
Yeah?
pretty much. A little bit more sophisticated. So right from the wild, we'll catch the large broodstock. We'll check them by looking at the size of their eggs. The females have got eggs. And then if they're ready to breed, what we'll start with doing is we'll add a little hormone. We'll induce them to spawn. The males need to be mature as well. And we'll check the eggs are fertilised. We collect the eggs. Eggs, once they're released by the females, are buoyant, so they'll float. We siphon them off the top, and then we rear the eggs through, rear the larvae through. After we've got the species for some time, we can then induce them to spawn by replicating the conditions in the wild, so the right environment, temperature and salinity and photo period, and then they'll breed on environmental cues. So we'll just make them think it's breeding time, and they'll breed naturally without the use of hormones.
That's always a good look. Now, I reckon there's 3 ways to make $1 billion. 1, invent a pill that when you take it you don't become fat. 2, invent a pill that you live forever. And the 3rd, actually get bluefin to breed in captivity and grow those babies out to big bluefin.
Okay, well, we've been working on bluefin tuna in conjunction with the Seafood Cooperative Research Centre and Clean Seas Tuna and a couple of other collaborators, in fact a whole host of other great research organisations. We've got a small role in that program, but we're one of 4 hatcheries that are taking eggs that are bred from the broodstock in Arno Bay, and we've brought them up here, helped develop technology for transporting eggs alive, and that's been successful. And last year we reared a batch of eggs through for 11 days, and yeah, we're very excited about that technology too.
So, a fine line between success and failure. You got the bluefin eggs from hatching to 11 days old. I could look at that and go, well, that sucks, but you're actually saying that's a huge development.
Oh, a huge development. The hatcheries in Arno Bay have still got some juveniles, so they've brought them right through, although small numbers. We've still got a long way to go, but this is the first time really with southern bluefin tuna. I mean, that success that Clean Seas Tuna and all the collaborators have achieved was rated as 2nd best invention in 2009 by Time magazine.
Awesome stuff.
It's great, yeah.
Okay, I just marked one there, 20 metres, guys. Get ready. There he is, on the right, on the right. Here he comes, here he comes. All right, he's got it, he's got it.
You beauty. Woo! Go, good thing. Not more than 2 minutes since we... Oh, there he goes. That's a nice fish. Woohoo! It's a black. Some beautiful jumps. Where's my cameraman? Did you see that? We've not been in the water for more than 2 minutes, and this fish come up and smashed the right rigger. It's a black marlin. He's up! He's up!
Here he goes.
There he goes, out the back. You see Timmy's backing up on this fish. It's a wet deck, so the water just falls straight out the scuppers at the back. It's our best chance of getting the marlin in without any pain or hurt to the fish. I can't say the same for the angler though. Last fish is a stripe, this is a black. Both so different, but both so amazing because they've got a beak for a nose. Oh, you good thing. He's gonna jump. Moving left, moving left. I think I decided I like it better inside the boat. But thanks for the tip, Tim. The harness would be lovely, thank you. And my husband would like one too. When you're on the end of a rod that's got a bend in it, you're fair game. And if you want to know why, it's because the crew can spend many, 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 many hours not catching a marlin. So when they do, they're like a coiled spring, ready to pounce. What do I have to do? In fact, Mars, if this keeps up, I'm gonna have to get the guns out off the gun rack No, they're tired. Oh! Out there, other side. Okay, we've hit a bit of a stalemate. When the fish comes up and the angle's right, Tim's able to back Calypso down. We get heaps of line. As you see, the fish comes out and does those amazing jumps. When he goes back under the boat, you get yourself a stalemate. And all I can do, keep the drag up, keep the pressure applied, and Tim is using the boat. He'll drive away from the fish, raise it up, then we go back hard on the fish and get him up for some spectacular stuff. This is a black marlin, and they tend to jump, go a little bit ballistic, more so than the stripe. They're all sensational, and to the average eye, you'd just say, well, it's a marlin, but black's got a shorter bill. His pectoral fins, which are these ones, they don't fold. They tend to be shorter and stockier. Real little prize fighters. Doesn't matter what species they are. If the last 6 letters end in marlin, you can guarantee they are sensational. There he goes, whoa!
Right there. Good shot. Okay, cut him off, mate. Cut him off.
Woo!
Nice work.
Well, thank you so much. How good were the jumps on that little black? All over the ocean, jump, 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 jump. I have to say, this big a thank you. Tim Dean, Muzz, the rest of the crew on Calypso. If you ever want to give yourself a better than even chance, and I'm talking a way better than even chance of catching your first or your 101st marlin, get to Port Stephens, find Calypso, go fishing, and you'll end up with a smile bigger than a beaky. How good is fishing Port Stephens for marlin? You beauty!